As above, so below. As below, so above. The Kabbalion. What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to continue our conversation on the 7 Hermetic Principles. Continuing on, episode 3 is going to be about the principle of correspondence, or that which is above is like that which is below, and that which is below is like that as which is above. Now, for those of you who have studied these kinds of topics in the past, you may have seen it written as above, so below, as within, so without. I do like the as within, so without for the demonstration that I am going to be teaching you today, or the topic I'm going to be teaching you about today, and the reason that I use it in that sense. For those of you who have heard this phrase before, you've probably heard it from the Emerald Tablet. Emerald Tablet was written by Hermes Trismegistus. Or you may have heard about it from that horror movie that placed in France called As Above, So Below. I'll be showing a picture of that. Now, what does as above, so below mean? What does it relate to? And how come we see these symbols throughout history or throughout culture or media, television? The concept of as above, so below is often illustrated by a man holding his right hand towards the sky and his left hand down towards the ground, as you can see here in the tarot card, the Magician. Here we have a statue of what would appear to be a Greek god, but you'd be surprised to find out it's actually a statue of George Washington. The statue is currently housed in the Museum of American Natural History in Washington, D.C. And of course, the infamous Baphomet, who has been the head topic of most conspiracy theories proposed by religious zealots for the last several centuries. What does it mean? Well, like we did with mentalism, if we want to understand what it means, at least in this sense, let's look at the source that we're reading it from. Now, I'm not going to read from the Emerald Tablets, but I will read the definition of the principle of correspondence from the Kabbalion. Maybe down the road we'll go into the Emerald Tablets, but I don't want to try and take a trip down that rabbit hole. So, what does the Kabbalion say about the principle of correspondence? This principle embodies the truth that there is always a correspondence between the laws and the phenomena of the various planes of being in life. The old Hermetic axiom ran in these words: as above, so below; as below, so above. And the grasping of the principle gives one the means of solving many a dark paradox and hidden secret of nature. There are planes beyond our knowing, but when we apply the principle of correspondence to them, we are able to understand much that would otherwise be unknowable to us. This principle is of universal application and manifestation on the various planes of the material, mental, and spiritual universe. It is a universal law, and the ancient Hermetists considered this principle as one of the most important mental instruments by which man was able to pry aside the obstacles which hid from the view of the unknown. Its use even tore aside the veil of Isis to the extent that a glimpse of the face of the goddess might be caught. Just as a knowledge of the principles of geometry enables man to measure distant suns and their movements while seated in his observatory, so a knowledge of the principle of correspondence enables man to reason intelligently from the known to the unknown. Study the monad, he understands the archangel. Wow, so all of that, but it didn't really tell us what it means and how can we utilize it in our life. Well, that's because the principle of correspondence, the phrase as above, so below, can mean many things to different people. And the way I look at it is I look at it in the practical means. Okay, we know that it's talking about something of occult in nature. So when we refer to as above, so below, we're talking about the spiritual world to the material world, this physical plane. If we understand the concepts that there are different planes around us, or above us, or below us, then we have to understand that this principle is basically stating this plane relates to that plane, as that plane relates to this plane. How many of you have seen a horror movie or something and you'll see ghosts walking around on this plane? Is that because their reality looks like ours? To me, what it means is not necessarily what we think of. That which is above is that which is below, as in it appears to be the same by looking, by what we see. To me, it reflects on our actions. Our actions on this plane can directly coincide with actions on another plane. The butterfly effect, if you will. What we do here manifests itself in another plane. And this is where we can go into the topics, the same as with mentalism, manifesting our desires. Now, one of the reasons that I like to utilize the phrase including as within, so without, because to me, for spiritual development purposes, that which is within myself, what am I feeling? How am I on the inside? Am I happy? Am I sad? Am I positive? Am I negative? What is going on is going to directly manifest itself outside of me, in my reality. So if you're sitting there harboring all this negative energy, my job sucks, my wife's mad at me all the time, or my boss yells at me, or whatever, if you live in a negative environment and it's constantly beating yourself up about little things and how much they impact your life, and you wonder why nothing ever changes, is because you don't change. Those feelings inside you don't change. You'll notice the happiest people on this earth are the ones who have little to nothing, because they have what really matters. They have family, they have friends, and most importantly, they have a positive attitude. Your attitude and the energy that you have within yourself emits itself. Our bodies have an electromagnetic field, if you will, around it. It's scientifically proven. Whether people used to say they're auras or whatever, it's an electromagnetic field, runoff energy. So that energy that you're putting out there, with the principle of correspondence, what it's stating is that energy put out there acts like a magnet. But it's not opposite attracts with this kind of magnet. So you don't put a negative, crappy attitude out there and get good things drawn into you. You have to have that positive attitude, that positive vibrations going on within your body, and you'll bring in good stuff. Homework assignment for you. What do you take the phrase as above, so below to mean for you? Does it mean what it means to me? Do you look at it in the practical sense, a spiritual sense, a metaphorical sense? Define it for yourself and begin to utilize it along with the principle of mentalism in your life. Continuing on from here, next video I put up will probably be on the principle of vibration. Now, after the principle of vibration, I may continue on with the 7 Hermetic principles, or I may start after that doing some of the practical methods of what I do for my meditation, or other stuff that you could be doing as well. I think once you understand the core concepts of mentalism, correspondence, and vibration, that's going to be kind of your foundation, and well, the law of polarity too, but we'll get into that. as always, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends or family who may find it interesting. And if you want to continue watching, please press that subscribe button. And if you have any comments, let me know how I did. What do you think about the principle of correspondence, or what videos would you like to see me do in the future? Go ahead and leave a comment down below as well. Thank you. Have a good day. God bless you.